Welcome to the film analysis, today with James Cameron's Titanic. In 1997, this cinema success set sail and was rewarded with 11 Oscars. When else do you see such a sprawling yet compressed social panorama in the cinema? Titanic is first and foremost a film about up and down. When Rose, played by Kate Winslet, and Jack, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, first see each other, the hierarchy is abundantly clear. She stands at the top of the deck and he looks up at her. Rose remains unmatched for Jack. Only when she harbors not too serious suicidal intentions do they meet on a level playing field. Her melancholy with depressive features diminishes her height. Jack's nobility as a savior elevates him, but the hierarchy will remain until the end and constitutes the story's erotic appeal. The whole ship represents the top-bottom constellation. It is, as was customary at the time, well Marxistically divided into three classes. Rose is the upper-class girl from a traditional family soon to marry a millionaire. Poor Jack has eked out a living as an artist in Paris and won a ticket for the Titanic in a poker game and must share a cramped cabin in third class. Second class is almost non-existent. It is only represented by the staff with a managerial function. This becomes interesting when the disaster is already in full swing. The second class, the staff, do not identify with the third class. No, they even lock them in and allow the first class access to the lifeboats first. Most of these boats are let down when they are only half full. Sociologist Heinz Bude describes the middle class as a nervous self that strives upwards and kicks downwards in fear of social relegation. We see this cruel game taken to the extreme in Titanic. Jack represents the lowest class in two ways. Not only is his material poverty decisive for his class, but also his gender. In their essay, "And the Most Beautiful Woman is DiCaprio," literary scholars Franziska Schössler and Claudia Liebrandt explore gender concepts in James Cameron's film. When Jack exclaims, "I am the king of the world," he joins the very feminine iconographic tradition of the figurehead. And remember that the ship is always female. This gestural arrangement marks the beginning of the gender crossing, at the end of which Jack and Rose will have exchanged positions. Rose, the innocent flower, the creation of her soon-to-be husband, from whom she awaits her defloration, becomes the agent or even the male subject, as has been culturally cemented. She energetically takes her life, her biography, into her own hands. It is very helpful to look at the film from this point of view. Although we are used to perceiving a woman as a woman and a man as a man in the cinema, this is due to the peculiar naturalism that no feature film can completely shed. Let's try it anyway. Rose is the woman who becomes a man, that is, in the sense that she takes on the role that actually only belongs to men in a patriarchal society, while Jack becomes a beautiful corpse, thus reenacting a cultural femininity topos in and through his death. The beautiful corpse runs through Western literature as a theme. Let's just think of characters like Ophelia or Undine. In Titanic, the beautiful Leonardo DiCaprio is the woman sacrificed for the self-realization of the man, in this case Rose. In Henri Murger's novel, on which Giacomo Puccini's La Bohème is based, Mimi must also die so that the male artists will once again have inspiration for new works. The cross-dressing thesis also finds confirmation in the reception of the film in the mass media. Kate Winslet was considered a serious actress from this film on, while Leonardo DiCaprio first had to overcome his feminine beauty to be recognized as a serious actor. DiCaprio really fought against the image of the beau. He no longer wanted to be made an object of desire. All his films after Titanic bear witness to this, and he succeeded. The parallels to Richard Wagner's opera The Ring of the Nibelung are striking. Rose and her family are staged like the gods in their Valhalla. An evil, greedy struggle has begun, since Rose's family belongs to the traditional moneyed aristocracy but is bankrupt. They must make a pact with Cal, who is worth millions, to preserve their property. Rose is to marry him. The family barters Rose away, just as Wotan pawns daughter Freya to the giants Fafner and Fasold. In this context, Cal's gift to Rose is also significant. It is a diamond called Le Cœur de la Mer. The diamond in the shape of a heart, like the Rheingold, which seems to have been stolen from the Rhine daughters. The heart of the sea is in the possession of Cal. He is like Alberich, he is not able to love. Rose will only return the heart to the sea at the end of the film as a 100-year-old woman, probably thinking of the saying of the Rhine maidens, falsch und feig ist, was dort oben sich freut. False and cowardly is that which rejoices up there. The real parallel to Wagner, however, is the portrayal of the working class. It is otherwise almost always invisible in bourgeois art. The first class on the ship never sees the workers from the engine room. In the third scene of Rheingold, Wotan descends from the heights of his waning power into an underground chasm to Nibelheim. There, in the darkness, the Nibelungs work, and you can hear it. The working class becomes visible. Even the otherwise rather unrealistic fairy tale King Ludwig will have seen them in Bayreuth. Wotan and King Ludwig fates resembles Roses. After Jack has drawn her in her nakedness, we can follow a similar descent into the underground chasm of the ship. As long as he draws her and collects a coin from her in return, they entertain a professional business relationship, as the 100-year-old Rose points out in the frame story. The hierarchy of top and bottom is observed. However, it is impossible to sleep together in her upper-class cabin. Third and first class are not allowed to unite, but for Rose and Jack to live their love, Rose goes into the depths of the luxury liner. And they get deeper and deeper until they reach the engine room paralleling Nibelheim. There, Rose is confronted with the sinister dark side of her luxury. The iron sound also seems Wagnerian. Downstairs, in the garage for the cars, they may sleep together. Only at the very bottom, at the Freudian id, is the drive allowed to be acted out. Rose once reports on her reading of Freud. Excitingly, Rose is virtually united with Jack afterwards, and they climb up onto the deck together. The natural order is thus disturbed. The moment Rose boldly ignores the class barriers, the ship slams into the iceberg, as if the state of nature had been suspended by Rose and Jake, which is now be re-established at whatever cost. The successful class struggle must run aground, especially being made clear in the scene on the floating wooden door at the end. The philosopher Slavoj Žižek claims Jack reconstitutes her ego with the words, "I will never let you go." She pushes him into the abyss. End of quote. Only Rose is entitled to this saving raft. Jack must stay in the ice water. The incomprehension of many teenagers was completely justified when they complained that Rose and Jack might have both found room on it after all. The truth is, it shall not be. Jack freezes to death. Only when Rose pushes him off, she is saved. Rose restores the original state. But the fact that she doesn't marry the rich guy after all shouldn't blind us to the fact that she still belongs to the upper class. We see in photographs that she became a successful artist. We find the Thomas Mann pattern here again. The first generation earns the money, the second spends it, the third becomes an artist. The great love story may not be a love story at all. The film is rather a class struggle drama, and it will go on and on. Tarkovsky warned, we only watch, but do not see. It would be nice if you would like to support the film analysis financially. You can do so via my bank account or PayPal. Also, you can find me on Patreon. Thank you very much.